everybody, it's Tracy from the Tea Plays Nice podcast. I'd like to say hello to all returning viewers or anybody that's new to the podcast. Hello, I'm Tea Plays Nice, otherwise known as Tracy, and you can find me as Tea Plays Nice on Facebook, Instagram, Ravelry. We have a Ravelry forum to go with this podcast called the Tea Plays Nice podcast forum. It's growing steadily, and I hope you enjoy watching and chatting along with one another. So this is my 12th podcast. Today is Tuesday the 5th of May 2015. We've been out this morning, out and about, and a bit busy. Excuse me while I just put that down. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so please excuse me if I sound a bit snuffly and a bit yuck. We had to go out solicitors this morning, all to do with wills and things like that. A bit complicated and a little bit of frustration in life at the moment, but it was good news, so we know what we need to do, and that's good. That's really, really, really good. So I'd like to say hello to a few new people in the forum this week on Ravelry, and that was Sally from Idaho, Steelers1, 4J, Sharby, Blondie in NV, and Saba 2010. Hi guys, welcome to the forum. It's lovely to see you. I hope you get chatting and joining some of the knit-alongs and some of the, maybe even the book club that we do. Get chatting to one another, show us what you're currently working on. We love to see what everybody's making. I'm beginning to realise, I used to think I was quite chatty on forums, and I'm beginning to realise that I kind of like post anything I need to, or if I'm responding to anybody, but I'm not very good at instigating the conversations quite so much, so I apologise for that. But I do like to pop along and see what you guys are all chatting about, and I'm on Ravelry most days, so I'll always pick up any messages. If you've got any questions you'd like to ask or anything, I do pick up the messages and I can answer you quite quickly. So what have we been up to this week? Well, let's go into finished objects. This is one of my finished objects for this week. This one, I think I started knitting it last time in the podcast. I can't quite remember, to be honest with you. And it is, oh, excuse me while I look for the name. The moral of the story is get yourself ready before you come on. But Dale's just took Oscar out. Dale's my husband, Oscar's my dog. Dale's just took Oscar out for a quick walk, so I thought I would quickly come up and try and get the podcast done while he's out there. Yeah, this is the IQ by Cipiana Designs. I don't know if I'm saying that right, if I show you. Okay, and I knit this one in the, excuse me, disappear, dropping things everywhere. I knit this one in the Jowl Magic Degrade, and it's the first scarf I've knitted, or shawl I've knitted myself in this style of wrap around your neck. I didn't know if it would suit me at all, so I'm quite pleased with it. I am quite happy with how it's turned out. So that's one finished object. It will be coming off anytime soon because it's quite warm in here. And if you noticed, new angle, I literally last week I couldn't be bothered to go out and do anything, and I was getting really frustrated and quite angsty about not doing anything, but I didn't want to go out. So I hit my craft room, totally tidied it up, totally gutted it. I've taken 10 black sacks of rubbish to the tip. I've got 7 big boxes of stamps, CD-ROMs and things that I would like to do a car boot sale with, which in US is like your garage sales, but we all congregate in a big field with our car boots open and we sell on tables through the back of them. So I'm hoping to go to a card boot sale and sell off quite a lot of my card making stash that way, because I'm really not doing as much as I used to. I still enjoy it, but I'm just getting rid of stuff, because I used to demonstrate card making for a living. I've got a lot of product that I no longer would like to use, so I'm de-stashing that and getting it out of the way, and hopefully that will give me some pennies to buy some more. Whoa, bargain. So that's that. I'm just going to take this off, because then I can show you my other finished object for the week. And this one was blocking last week. I know, was it blocking last week? But I'm wearing it today. And this was the water lily. I can take my cardigan off. It's the water lily by Pom Pom magazine. I'm quite happy with it. This is the size 36. It's knit in the round up to this point, and this is the Latvian braid, and then you go into the pattern. I had a little bit of a hiccup with it this week. I actually wore it last week to work in the wool shop, and then, excuse me while I redress, I wore it to work in the wool shop, came home, thought it's fine now, I've blocked it, everything's fine, I'm just going to pop it in for a gentle wash, wool wash. Did that, went to peg it out, and there was a hole in the back, about that big. And the yarn, it wasn't a join, because I could see the join in the next couple of rows up. The yarn had literally broke apart, and it kind of unravelled 4 or 5 rows, and there was a hole. So I've basically Kitchener stitched it, worked it back, Kitchener stitched it. Not entirely happy with it, but as I said to hubby, it's probably one of those tops I'm always going to wear a light cardigan over the top of anyway, because I'm self-conscious of my arms. So it's on the back, you can't really see it, so it's not a problem. We can live with that. So that was another finished object this week, or a couple of weeks ago, but you can see I'm now wearing it. Another object I finished a couple of podcasts ago, well, I kind of like finished it, but I hadn't sorted out the hair on the doll I was making, the tea room doll. Well, she's all finished now. And now when I tip her up, her hair stays put. Before I would tip her up, her hair would literally come down, all of it, and you would just get this bald head, and I just couldn't live with that. So I've actually sewn a sew line. You can't really see it. I've still left enough loose so that it hides it, but there's a little invisible line there that holds her hair in place, and I've put a little Alice band on the top. So that's the tea room doll. All done and all finished. So she's done, which is rather nice. Put her on the bed. And hubby was a little bit bored last week, and I had some MDF lying around, and he made a birdhouse. Now, this is his second one, because he liked it so much. He made a little birdhouse. Okay. It doesn't open or anything, it's just literally got the hole for the birdie to go in and out. So he made this one, or made the other one, and he's enjoyed it, and he's, as I said, he's made this one. And he did that, and I thought, well, I'm going to decorate it. So I got my paints out, as you do. And I've done this. So this is now my little birdhouse. If I turn it around, you can see. So that's my birdhouse, all finished. Again, very happy to have another thing finished. So, sorry, all in all, technically, 5 things finished. Because then I made this little heart, wooden heart, to hang in my craft room. And if I've always loved the beach, the smell of the salty water, the wind in my face, the gentle roar of the waves, all combined to create a sense of peace and calm. And that is hanging in my craft room. So quite a creative this week. Works in progress. I've still got Mum's bed jacket I'm working on, and I've still got Mum's coat Westering Home I'm working on. They're kind of like in hibernation at the moment because I've kind of lost it with both of them at the moment, but I'm hoping to pick them both up quite quickly and start again. But I mentioned last week I purchased a book. It was on sale in the shop that I work in, and it's the Debbie Bliss one, and she was selling these off at £3. So a price of a pattern really, and I managed to get the book, and I looked through the book, and I must admit, I think I do want to knit everything in this book. There's a little crossover top. I'm trying to show you the bigger pictures. There's that jumper, crossover top, the little stripy top, another little jumper. I don't know if you're seeing these very well. Another little jumper. And then there's this one. The button back top. Now for some unknown reason I don't normally do no sleeves, but I've fallen in love with this top. And they're all done in different 4-plies and things of Debbie Bliss obviously. And I was in work and I thought I really want to do that one for my holiday if I can get it done. Well, no, my holiday is the 1st of June. And I was deliberating in the shop and we were looking at various wools and things. And I picked up a very nice aqua blue. A pale aqua blue. And I thought that was nice, and my boss says, oh, you always go for such safe colours. So she convinced me to go for Hayfield Fiesta. Now it's a mercerised cotton 4-ply. Well, it's actually a double knit, but it works out nice for the pattern. So that's the colour I've decided to go for. And I started it last Wednesday evening. Started it last Wednesday, and it's done on 3.75 for the garter edge, and then you go up to 4mm for the main body. Now I've done all of, it's such a flimsy fabric, it's such a flowy fabric, it's lovely. And I've done all the front, as you can see. I've done the front, and I'm only into my second ball. I know I've got more balls put back in the yarn shop, but I don't think I'm going to need, I bought 2 home and we put 3 extra ones back in the shop, and that's all I've got left of my second one. That's what I've got left of my second one, but I'm on the left back, and I've done that match of the left back. You can see it's just going to sit so nicely on. It really is knitting up lovely and soft and light. So I've got that. So that is currently my work in progress, and that is basically all I am working on at the moment. I'm having a little good time of being monogamous to my knitting, which is quite nice. Stash enhancement. Nan. I did kind of like sort out my yarns and kind of like put the ones I would like to work with quite soon out. That's not all my yarn. I've got other yarns, but those are what I class as my nice yarns that I do really want to work with quite soon. So they're all up behind me. I'm now able, I've got my sewing machine out, so I might be able to do some sewing. I've still got a lot of card making stuff. It's all on this shelving here behind me. I've actually got a desk that I sit side on like this, and that's got my wool, and it's actually got my sewing and my quilting down below, down there. And then reflecting that, I've got another unit where my camera is based at the moment, and that's got all my card making stuff on. So I'm quite organised now, and it's a lot better. I can get in and I can actually work. So that was that. Stash enhancement, as I say, I haven't actually bought any yarn apart from the yarn for the jumper I'm knitting at the moment. So I think I'm going to be a bit monogamous on my knitting for a while and just finish projects one at a time, because I seem to work better that way. But I did have a lovely post this week, and a couple of months ago, Denise from the Knitting Den, hi Denise, she had a knit along called the Lawrence knit along, and I don't know if I told you the story about my Lawrence knit along in the end. I did it in Rowan felted tweed. Husband did felt it, put it in the wash and felted it, so I'm going to have to, I suppose it's still wearable, but anyway, I digress. And because of the knit along, I won a little prize. And Denise, it's turned up. Look at this. I've got a Kiki Boo bag. I'm so happy. Well, this is Denise's little label. And she's actually personalised it for me. And she's spelt my name right. Noe. Denise, I love it. And it's got nice spotty fabric inside, and it has got the Kiki Boo label on, and it's got this little pole and its little zipper, and I do love my little Kiki Boo bag. Thank you so much, Denise. That really brightened up my week getting that one. So what else? Gosh guys, it might be a really quick one. The knit along's still going along. We've got the Summer Loving knit along. People have started finishing objects and popping them in there. Please, if you want to knit more than one item, please feel free. You know, you can enter as many times as you want, as long as it's one yarn up, one skein up for a project. We've really seen some lovely projects, and my list is growing just by looking what everybody else is out there knitting. So that would be lovely for you to join in on. I'm sorry, I'm really fuggy with all this. So that would be nice to see you over there on. I was watching True Cannock Girl the other day, the Canadian podcaster. And she was saying somebody had asked her for tips on podcasting, and she'd give the tip, just be yourself. Yeah, sometimes I think maybe I'm myself a bit too much, because I and I am, and she did actually say she is going to say about 18,000 times, and I feel the same. I end up sitting here sometimes thinking, what am I going to chat about? But it is what it is, and I hope you enjoy still watching. Oh dear. I'm getting a little bit excited. My holiday's coming up, and I've only got 3 weeks to holiday. I'm waiting at sorry. Oh dear. I'm waiting at the moment to decide if I'm going to go out for a run tonight. Tilly Trout, if you're watching, if I could run 3 miles in 30 minutes, I'd be a very happy girl. When you were saying you were getting back into running and you walked and you did 3 miles in 30 minutes, I'd be a very happy girl. I think I can walk in about 37, So I think if I was to run, I probably could do 3 miles in 30 minutes. But as I go out with a running club, and we always tend to run about 4, 5, 6 miles, I'm never quite sure how fast. I know I'm not a fast runner. I will never ever be a fast runner. But I did enter the ballot for Virgin London Marathon next year. That opened yesterday. So I've put in for that, and I'm deliberating. If I'm not successful, you don't find out until October, November time. If I'm not successful, I might actually go for a Golden Bond charity place next year. I just think I need some kind of big challenge. I've always wanted to go off and do one of these trek... I'm so sorry. I've always wanted to go off and do one of these charity treks or bicycles, but I'm a little bit intimidated, if that's the right word, and I would love to do one, but I need somebody to go with me. And at the moment, my best friend won't fly. She hates flying, so I don't think that's an option at the moment. So I've put that a little bit on the back burner. I think it's going to be on my bucket list. But Virgin London Marathon I did put in to do. And it was quite funny because when I was on Facebook yesterday talking to my daughter, and she popped up and said, I might put in for the ballot too. And she's a non-runner at the moment. So I think it would be good. And I think if she was granted a place, I would definitely, I know she won't go for a charity place, but if she got through the ballot and got a place, I definitely would go for a charity place just to run along with her and do it as a mother-daughter thing, which I think would be lovely. So, won't know till later on in the year, but that would be good. Sorry, other podcast forum news. The book. We do a virtual book club, and we chose to read The Girl on the Train. I know quite a few of us have finished it now, and I'm going to open up the chatter thread probably this afternoon. I'll let everybody start chattering about it in there now. I really need feedback. I don't know whether to do another one. I love doing it. I love the fact that we're all reading, and I don't know how we're going to talk about it now and how popular it will be to talk about it now. It's been so long since we've read it. I don't know whether to do another book as a book club and just start chatting about it right away, because I feel the momentum is still there if people are still reading it and you talk about it as you go. I don't know if that will spoil it for some people. So if you could comment in the book club little section on the forum, that would be really nice. Really need some feedback on that one. And I did also say, Lady Fanenko of Pen, Hook and Needle podcast, she commented on one of our posts in the forum the other day. I did start, when I first started podcasting, I was trying to get a birthday thread up where maybe I held a list of everybody, and it not necessarily for presents or anything, but just have a list of people's names and addresses and their birthdays. So if anybody wanted to send a birthday card to somebody, they could do it that way. So let me know again what you think on that. That would be really, really lovely. So I'm sorry if you can hear chattering. Hubby's come in and he must be on the phone because he talks quite loud on the phone, and he's distracting me because I can hear him chatting, and I don't know if you can hear him. So I apologise if you can. I think that's it for now, to be honest with you. I think I've done stash enhancement, I've done finished objects, what I'm working on, podcast news. Other than that, I hope you've all had a lovely week. As I say, I'm trying to keep these very short and sweet. And I do appreciate everybody watching and coming back, and I promise I'm going to start getting more organised doing these. At the moment it's just a chance of I'm sat down for 5 minutes and I know I've got like half an hour or so, and I think do it now, go do the podcast and then whip away again. So that's really good. What I was talking about, I don't know yet tonight if I'm going for a run or Mum and her husband have got tickets to go and see Top Hat in the Theatre Royal in Plymouth. Now I saw Top Hat when it came to Plymouth, when it started in Plymouth with Tom Chambers, and it's gone off and toured the country and it's come back to Plymouth, but Tom Chambers is not the lead role anymore. Somebody else is playing the lead character. Now Mum and her hubby are supposed to be going, but hubby isn't great. Excuse me. And he said, if I don't feel up for it, will you go with your mum? So as of now, and it is now coming up to, I think it's coming up to about 1:30 in the afternoon. It might be nearer 2 o'clock. I'm not even sure on the time at the moment. I don't know what's happening. But at the moment, I can't see me going and sitting through a show with coughing and spluttering. So, but I'm hoping that if I went for a run, it would kind of like wash it through, get this out type thing. So anyway, I digress totally and utterly, and I'm so sorry if you tuned in for a knitting podcast. You've got knitting, but you've had everything else. Rambled at you so quickly. All I want to do now is basically say, keep safe. And Bakery Bears, hugs to you, you know why. Nan and Kay, I think you're in our thoughts. And I shall see you all again soon. Okay guys, bye.